So is Charleville a haunted castle? Are you curious to find out, or are you one of the skeptics who says, here we go again? Well, we're going to chat to two soul searchers. We have in studio with us Sam Stone. Sam, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you very much for having us.
And this other name, typical. I've lost my running order. Forgive me.
It's Deborah Orr.
Deborah, do forgive me. So, guys, who's the skeptic and who's the believer?
I'm the skeptic. I work with using technical devices in verifying paranormal activity. Where Deborah,
how can you use technical devices to verify the paranormal?
Well, I mean, you know, it's all working by theory. I mean, you have theory has it that certain energies can connect or relate to electricity, for example. So we use EMF detectors to verify. You know, again, it's theory. It's not 100%. But again, you know, I tend to use sensors. So if something was to walk past the sensor and the sensor to go off, you know, there should be, if there's no natural reason for that to happen, then, you know, we leave it as unexplained and let the viewers on our Facebook page or on a website decide whether they feel it's paranormal or not.
And trigger objects.
And trigger objects and things like that. So we use a lot of different techniques in finding out, you know, paranormal activity that people that we go to who are claiming their premises to be haunted, for example. So that's the way I would tend to work, where Deborah would tend to work more spiritually, as in using her psychic abilities and things like that, and using her medium friends to come along, and things like that.
As far as the science goes, though, if you get a false alarm, what tends to trigger it?
Well, that's it. I mean, the first thing I tend to do is, you know, put it somewhere where there can't be any wind or can't be any, you know, reason why it should go off, and maybe lock the doors and make sure nobody is in that, you know, area. So that then we have if it does go off, and, you know, again, your guess is as good as mine. Why should it go off? And that's why we try to, and then what I'll do is I'll say, maybe the first time when it goes off, I'll probably tend to do is probably say, well, okay, that could have been an accident, or that could have been something, the batteries are probably too low, so I'll check something, say, if it happens again, then I'm kind of thinking, right, this shouldn't really be happening. So I leave it unexplained and why it's happened, you know. So that's the kind of way we tend to work. And then we have, you know, we try to use the most basic equipment. You know, you see a lot of paranormal investigators and they invest a lot of money in different devices that they import from America or Japan. And we tend to kind of leave it as, you know, just your night vision.
Simple as possible.
Exactly, yeah. Simple as possible. Night vision cameras, you know, torches.
Candles.
Yeah, candles, digital cameras. So basically, you know, so we're trying to tell people that, you know, it's not difficult to do. You can go out and do it. It's a hobby. You know, it's a bit of fun as well. There is a fun factor to it, but but if you're serious about looking for activity, then there is a serious side to it as well, that you have to really go by certain rules. And
how did you find all of this out? The science of it?
Well, you know, again, you know,
We've been studying it for years.
Well, I have been,
both of us,
but Deborah will be a believer. We go by, but you're a believer if you believe in ghosts and spirits and whatever. And if you don't, you tend to use the word energy a lot, and that's the word I tend to use a lot, energy. And you know, it's gas, because Deborah said to me, you know, you don't believe in anything, Sam. You don't really have any belief system. So come out with, you know, and let's do this. Let's investigate people's homes, looking for help. Let's go out and investigate premises. And so we said, okay, let's do that. And I said, let's do that, because she wanted, obviously, probably slightly prove to me that there is something else out there, you know. And that's a nice thing, you know. I like to believe there's something out there, but
not that you live, you die, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
But Sam, you were coming at it from the skeptic's point of view, and Deborah, you were the believer. So what events led you to believe?
Well, since I was a child, I did see a lot of stuff. Now, people say, well, that could be your imagination, but I knew, you know, I just knew. I saw a lot of figures. I lived in London for a very long time, and like the places that I lived, you know, was old. I used to go down to the train tracks a lot to see, could I see anything, and 9 times out of 10 you would feel, because I'm like clairsense.
That's a bit of an unusual hobby, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah, it is. Because I wanted to see more. Do you know what I mean? Because what I felt since I was a little girl, because some people say, well, I'm clairsensious, say, so I feel energy. If somebody passed over and it was like a brutal death, I would feel it, like choking, their lungs filling up. So but I wanted.
Did you
to
always
see
have
it.
these sensations?
Always, yeah, always since I was.
How
a
did you
little
make
girl.
sense of them in the beginning?
She got
I don't
blessed
know.
by the priest, didn't you?
Well, my grandmother, God rest her soul, the priest was brought up a lot, and I was doused with holy water a lot. Because, you see, I would say to her, Nan, I saw this man, and I could explain maybe her father or her granddad. So that
so
was
she was
weird.
freaked out a little.
Yeah. And that's where my witch side comes in, because I'm also a white witch. I'm a hedge witch, so I do my own little rituals
Okay,
and stuff like
just
that.
backing off.
Everybody does that. No, I'm actually a very nice witch. Yeah.
How do you become
So
a
she
witch?
says.
Hocus
I still wouldn't mess with her, you know.
No, I have a bad side.
I've never met a witch before.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I'm a
she
white
is.
witch. Yeah,
She is a white witch.
Well, I was brought into the world as a Catholic. Thank you, Mum and Dad, and I was brought up as best they could bring me up. But then I strayed. Then in my teens, I knew. I've always studied it. I've always loved it.
When did you become a witch?
Oh, well, I was a witch for many years, but I came out of the closet on another radio station last Halloween.
How do you become a witch?
You just
There's no
practice.
witch academy, I assume.
Well, there is actually. There's a lot of witch academies, but you just study, you just learn. Books,
It's about
a lot of
it's
books.
a lot about the earth and
Well,
nature.
yeah, like it's the 5 elements, and it's all about the greater good, and it's all about the earth, and you
Gods
have a
and
god and a goddess. So I believe that it's not just God, there's a male and a female, so there's a yin and yang. You know what I mean? And you do everything for the greater good. You believe in Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and Mother Universe. That's who I believe in.
Okay, but it's not being a witch in the fictional sense. You don't have your cauldron.
Well, I do have a cauldron and I do have a wand, yeah. But I'm not like Harry Potter either, you know. And I do spells. I do a lot of love spells for the ladies.
So now,
What's the science behind this, Sam?
you know, this gas, isn't it?
He
Because
just
we
goes
are
with it.
completely opposite. Like,
Oh, we're
you know?
completely opposite.
And it's funny, like, you know, because
Well,
we're
in
together.
colour as well, we're completely opposite as well,
Yeah,
you
we
know?
are. And we're together 11 years now. And I just said, okay, look, because I mean, she was so much into her spirituality and, you know, her gods and goddesses. And I said, look, and she said, Sam, you have to believe in something. you
Yeah.
know?
Did she bring this up on a first date?
No, she didn't. See, that's what she didn't do. You know, she's clever like that.
About 4.5 years
Yeah.
into the relationship, I told him.
No, I was.
But he kind of
to
knew,
be
didn't
honest,
he? You always
I'm
knew.
the type that I'm not anti anything. You know, I respect anyone's belief as long as
Everyone's
it's a good.
religion.
It's for the good. I'll respect it. It's fine. But she said to me, right, okay, come on, you have to believe in something. So we went out. We said, right, let's start Soul Searchers and let's go out and see if we can, if you can, you know, correct me in my beliefs. You know, so. We're doing it and it's fantastic.
Well, you went from a complete non-believer to
yeah.
halfway
Well,
there.
I'm still a non-believer category, I would say, but I'm on the
still-
fence
Yeah.
between skeptics and believers, because I find skeptics come across as very harsh sometimes, and it's
Well-
almost like they have a chip on their shoulder, and I felt I was like that as well.
Yeah.
So there is always that sense that, you know, I'll prove you religious people wrong, and I'll prove you wrong and stuff. And I didn't really want to be that like that, because I'm not
So
like
you're
that.
not hardline.
Yeah.
But
I'm
would you
not like-
believe everything that Deborah says?
Absolutely. I believe she believes in it. Do you understand me? I know that sounds a bit confusing. I believe she believes in it. Just like I would believe that a Catholic would believe in his religion. I believe that that person believes in it. And that's lovely. That's nice. you
But
know.
also, I am a card reader, because that's Deborah Orr. And a lot of your cards that I've read for you.
Yeah, she has surprised me. No, don't get me wrong. She has surprised
It's just
me.
the feedback that other
And
people go, oh my God, Sam, this happened, and
I
she
mean,
told me this. And
This is why I started this, because I wanted to see firsthand. And then when Deborah would say a name, for example, you know, in a certain area that I knew she wouldn't know anything about, or she, you know, let's say someone's house that she wouldn't know, and she'd say a name, a full name, and I would say, well, how did she know that? And that's something like that I can't explain, you know. I mean,
And you certainly didn't give it away.
not at all, no,
unbeknownst to
because I
yourself?
wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known either. Do you understand me? I mean, like when we go to the public investigations, I call public investigations like we have a search on at the moment. We launched it last year and we got loads of media attention from it. It was the search for the most haunted pub. We've done 10 pubs in County Kildare, and
That's why we'd love to get down this end as
that's why
well
we're here
and
now
share.
today. We want to kind of go around just locally again, you know, County Offaly, County Laois, you know, Westmeath,
love to do that,
and then we're going to Dublin as well. So we want to kind of move around, but not too far because we're a non-profit group, so we can't really afford to travel too far.
Okay.